No, they still get no respect. Most commodities, certainly not now. I mean, there have been periods. I mean, oil went to 150 for a minute, for a day. Yes, things do happen, but for the most part, people have ignored commodities again. But don't worry, they'll be back, especially if we keep printing money the way we're printing money, and especially if people, economies keep collapsing. Nobody can go to work. Now that cuts demand, but it also cuts supply eventually. And if they keep printing money, the demand will be there. Well, in my view, Daniela, we are now having another move in gold. As you know, I started buying gold again in 2019, the last summer of 2019, and this is going to go on for a while. So yes, you have to have heavyweights come in to keep the move going. You have to have a lot of new people come in, and they will be back. Don't worry, they will be back. One of the things about markets is many people don't want to buy until they're moving. That's not the way you're supposed to invest. You're supposed to buy low, but a lot of people like to see it moving, and then they jump in. So they'll be here. They're coming. Don't worry. Watch Stansberry Research.
Watch
Danielle own Stansberry Research
every day.
Watch it whenever you can to learn about gold and silver, because gold and silver are probably going to go into maybe even a period of maybe a mania even. I hope not, because I don't want to have to sell my gold and silver. But you should learn about it, and you should learn about what's happening in the world. Daniela, I am always startled at how few people are aware of what's happening. The United States is the largest debtor nation in the world by many factors, and we keep adding staggering amounts of money to our debt. This has always ended badly. I mean, it's not just the U.S., the Japanese, oh my gosh, those guys, the head of the Bank of Japan goes to work every morning early, cranks up the printing presses, prints as fast as he can. He wants to print unlimited, that's his net worth, unlimited amounts of money, and buy stocks and bonds and ETFs. I mean, this is going to end very, very badly when it ends. Oh, absolutely. Some people will watch a TV show and think they know something, think they have learned and understand, or they will read a book and think they understand what's going on. No, I hate to say it, Danielle, I've been investing a long time, and I'm still, to this day, shocked at how little people know, much less how little they understand about the world, about money, and about investing. Daniela, there is an election coming up, and all the people in Washington will do anything they can to get reelected. Democrats, everybody, that's their job. That's what they think of as their job, to get reelected. So who knows what kind of news is going to come in the next few days, few weeks. You should be worried about after. You should be worried about 2021. But in the meantime, politicians all over the world are doing their best, and central bankers all over the world are doing their best to keep this madness going. Danielle, you know I'm the world's worst market timer. Ask Porter.
But
Porter Stansberry. Ask those guys at Stansberry. They know a lot of stuff. They're very good at this. I'm not. I bought a little bit today, just so tiny it's not even worth mentioning. I bought a little more silver today. It's nighttime in Asia now, so we're ahead of you. I'm not jumping in with both feet by any stretch of the imagination, but I plan to buy a lot more gold and silver over the next year or two. There are more people. Gold is made all-time highs 2 or 3 weeks ago. So somebody is looking at it and thinking about it. Yes, of course, but not nearly enough. I mean, very few people. Gold is down 10% already from its all-time highs. So most people do not have a clue. Most people want their congressman to spend more money for them. That's unfortunately the way most people think, and they don't understand the consequences. I mean, Daniela, it's a wonderful time to be old in North America. Young people have a bleak future. I
I
got two, I have two teenage children. Oh my gosh, what the world that they're inheriting 5 years from now, 10 years from now, somebody's going to say, wait a minute, look at all this debt. What do we do about all this debt? Well, I'm not in the States, but what I read and when I speak to friends in New York, I hear that there's a lot of empty space now, and it's not just temporary anymore. You know, a lot of shops in New York are boarded up, and many of them are not going to come back, many restaurants. So there are changes taking place in the world. Anytime there's a crisis, it opens people's eyes to a lot of things, and they think new thoughts and new ways of doing things. And some of them are moving. Some of them are going to move to Miami.
Right.
They're going to pay New York taxes. You know, some of them are going to move to Texas. They don't want to pay California taxes. So it's causing lots of movement. I would not now, Daniela, I would not, because I expect eventually we're going to have a very, very serious bear market and a very bad economy for a while. You know, in 2008, we had problems because of too much debt. Daniela, since 2008, the debt has skyrocketed, staggering amounts all over the world. You know, even China didn't have any debt in 2008. They spent a lot of money, helped save. Even China has debt now. So no. I would suspect that your buying opportunity is going to be when you see horrible economic news. Well, I'm not smart enough for that. I suspect it's going to be the worst in my lifetime, yes, because Daniela, the debt, I just said, the debt was terrible in 2008. Oh my gosh, the debt since then is sky.
It's nothing. That looks like nothing today.
Yeah, I was going to say in the last 3 months alone, America's added huge amounts of debt compared to what it did before. So no, it's going to be much worse. Well, at that time, and always, I have learned, for whatever reason, try to look and watch and see. You know, most people go to Las Vegas and say, oh my gosh, look at that. But I have learned, no matter where I am, whether it's Paris or whatever, Brooklyn, anywhere, to try to just look and observe. You may not see anything, but if you see something, and if you are being attentive, if you have your antenna open so that you can see, who knows what you're going to see. You might see something that's significant, or you might see some change. The most important thing that I look for is change. You don't see it very often, but when you do, Daniela, you should think about it and act and do research. So I know that when I go to a place like Las Vegas, especially to a show, I'm trying to look and observe and see what's going on.
Interesting.
Most of the time I see nothing. But occasionally, and then I go home and have to do some work. Oh, Daniela, you know, yeah, it's a little bit embarrassing, but I've had 3 #1 bestsellers in Japan in the last 18 months. And another one's coming out right now as we speak. For some reason, the Japanese want me to write books. And for some reason, I keep doing it. It's fairly simple to do. But they're all in Japanese. Well, there are a couple of them are being translated into Korean, and a couple have been translated into Chinese. But for some reason, the people who speak English don't seem to be too interested in what's happening in Japan. And for some reason, I'm on this Japanese kick. Basically, what the book says, what they say is, well, one is called A Warning to Japan. And basically what I'm saying, you know, Japan is the 3rd largest economy in the world, but Daniela, the population's been declining for 10 years. That's not a typo, 10 years decline. The debt has been skyrocketing every day. And Japan, I mean, if you're 10 years old in Japan, what are you going to do when you're 40 years old and not going to be anybody left in Japan? the debt's going to be skyrocketing, going through the roof. They won't have babies. They don't like foreigners, so they let in very, very few immigrants. No, Japan is in a serious, serious problem, and it is the third largest economy in the world as we speak. But it's got real problems. I mean, I love Japan, and I love Asia a great deal, but I am right. Somehow I've gotten on a kick about writing about Asia, especially Japan, and it works and it's simple to do. So here I am. Congratulations, those babies. You're going to have a lot of fun. And congratulations on Stansberry. You're going to have a lot of fun there too.